Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Blades and Banter podcast. I'm once again joined by Clayton and Alexa. Guys, it's Christmas in June for skating, which means that the Grand Prix assignments have come out. And how are we feeling? Because first off, we actually had a date to this year where we knew that they were coming out. Like there was stuff on Reddit where Leah
Mm.
Pereira had said like it's coming out on a Friday, and then USFS yesterday or 2 days ago was like, hey, by the way, Grand Prix assignments are coming out. Get ready. And normally we have
I
no
got
idea when they're
shocked.
occurring. So, initial
I
thoughts.
I feel like there's never been any rules against, to my knowledge, like announcing when Grand Prix assignments are coming out based on like each individual like skating federation. I think they're just now kind of catching on, like, wait, the fans are actually really getting into it and they're starting to catch on and they're starting to like care. And now that like, oh, social media, like we can post and we can share this and we can get people excited. So I think it's a good opportunity that they're taking to just kind of get people more excited and give people more of a chance to like do stuff like this.
I kind
Yeah.
of love that USFS I feel like typically like they wouldn't do something like that, and so like for them to be like, oh, they're coming on Friday, and everyone like, whoa, wait, what? Like, so and then I felt like on Friday everybody was like constantly refreshing our
Mhm.
feed to be like, okay, wait, it's
Where
9
are they?
a.m. Like they're in Switzerland, we're
It's
here, like
3 p.m. in Switzerland.
yes,
Where
like
are the assignments?
what's happening here? So yeah, it's exciting and like it gets the buzz going. And I already think that like leading into this Olympic season, that there's already been so much buzz because there's been so many comebacks and new teams and whatnot. So this just kind of like keeps that excitement going and also like kind of solidifies like, oh yep, these teams are actually coming back, or this is a new pairing, and like, oh, I wonder what these matchups are going to look like. So I'm excited. Like I love Christmas in June. This is great.
And it also kind of creates a lot of more questions about the
Mm.
status of a lot of people.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think, as we get into like the disciplines, there are some people that we'll talk about that, might that we have more questions about than what we did a couple months ago. So leading into that, we can kind of just jump right into the men.
Mm-hmm.
And the
But
first thing I
wait,
want,
I'm
okay.
going to really quickly because we always forget. Before we
Oh
jump
yes,
into things,
like,
make sure to like and
like, comment, subscribe,
subscribe,
comment.
comment below.
What was the most shocking thing that you saw on the Grand Prix list this week? This week, what was shocked you the most? That's what I want to know from everyone. But starting and jumping into the men, we had Wesley Chu announce on Instagram that he is getting an or he had gotten ankle surgery. So that pretty much, I'm not gonna lie, that pretty much will take him right out of the Olympic conversation if that was recent. I think he said he had 6 months um of healing time. So, there's just no way that he's gonna be able to, come back and be able to rehab and get the jumping elements back, have the cardio back. Like there's no feasible timeline, I feel like, that would make it possible for him to do that,
And
which
it kind
kind
of
of,
could,
which
yeah.
really stinks because he was the Canadian favorite for the past like couple of years,
Mhm.
before he got his first injury. So difficult for him, obviously. That's got to be a super tough pill to swallow. But I will say I don't think he would have gotten a Grand Prix anyways this year unless he got chosen for the host pick,
That's what I was
because of
gonna
his
say.
season's
Yeah.
best
Mm.
was quite low.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that was the first thing that jumped out of me when I saw this because he posted it this week. So
Hmm.
Mhm.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you have
And
anything else to say, but
no, I was just gonna say, I think like with the list being released, and him not being on it just kind of solidifies that. Not to say, he can't do some later challengers, but I do kind of think this one is Romans to lose, but that's something that we can
we'll get
dive more
into.
into. We'll
Mhm.
get into that.
Yeah,
I mean, there's always Canadian nationals, and that men's event is always just kind of like a crapshoot.
chaotic.
We'll see what happens. I mean,
Whoever
yeah, but
shows up.
whoever
Yeah.
shows up might,
Yeah.
if you show up to Canadian nationals, you'll get a medal.
Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is the order of the Grand Prix this year because I am not used to this yet.
Mm-mm.
I seeing Grand Prix France and Cup of China first and second on the list
It
is
feels
throwing.
dirty.
It feels so dirty that the Grand Prix is not starting in the Eastern time
Mm-mm.
zone. Like I really can't with it. But I'm happy France is the first one. Because if it was China, I feel like that would be tough because we're not gonna
Selfishly.
selfishly,
Mm,
like, I mean, I will watch it live, but watching it live will be a painful experience for me. But France
Yeah.
is nice. Like you get to
France
wake
is
up at like
nice.
8
I know,
a.m.
I like it, and I think historically, like Grand Prix France has been like one of my favorite
Most chaotic.
events, and it gets competitive. I think it's like I don't know the middle of the Grand Prix series, like everyone's finally kind of like getting into it, but now it's at
Yeah.
the front, and I'm like, but either way. So
It'll
let's
be quite the start for the men.
yeah.
So in Grand Prix France, I'm just gonna go through the list. We'll discuss after the list. So Mikhail Selevko. So that is the brother that went to Worlds
Mhm.
last year. Luke Economy, Adam Shahimfa, a TBD for France, Mr. Nika Gatse from Georgia, Gabriel Frangipani from Italy, Kao Mura and Satsuya Tsuboi from Japan, Lucas Britschke or Luke Ass Britschke
Hmm.
from Switzerland. And then this is the battle of the American Russians of Ilya Malinin, Maxim Naumov, and Andrew Torgashev. So anything jumping at you immediately from the Grand Prix de France?
I think Ilya and Adam kind of their matchup,
Yeah.
right out of the gate is pretty interesting. Adam is known not to have the most like consistent Grand Prix season, so I think that this might kind of light a fire under him to kind of like, okay, let's show up, let's come out of the gate strong. So I'm interested to see what he has to do and say and show for himself.
Yeah, I think same. Like, I think that'll kind of be the big matchup between the two of them. But then I feel like it becomes a really interesting conversation for who else is going to be on that podium in that third spot. Because it could be Cal, it could be Lucas, you know, maybe like, who else could,
Maybe
maybe like
Torgashev.
I
Torgashev,
think
like,
Torgashev
I
when he
was gonna
shows up,
say,
yeah.
yeah,
I was
like
gonna say
Cecilia Savoy, maybe, but like,
the more interesting story for me here is Naumov versus
Mm,
Torgashev,
yes, I
because
agree.
I think that spot, that third spot that we've talked about over the past couple of years is, I mean, Torgashev left the door open at Worlds. I
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm,
mean, and Naumov is, skating for more this year. So I
Mm-hmm.
think there's
mm-hmm,
a lot of internal push
mm.
for the two of them to kind of lock in. So I
And
think
that
Grand Prix France a little bit of the for the men's event a little low key for a
mhm.
start.
And you
Have
have
some
to
big people, but not the stars.
mhm. You also have to think about the TBD spot for Skate America.
Yes, we'll
So I
get
think
there.
yeah, but I think
Yeah.
so. I think Max is definitely gonna have that in the back of his mind going into this for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so second on the Grand Prix, we'll have the Cup of China, which is in Chongqing, I think. Um, which will start out with Mr. Vladimir Litnitsev. I wonder if he got a new program. If
What
he
do you mean?
has
You don't,
the
not the bells of Moscow and
the
like what's the,
Fall on
yes,
Me
what do you
for the
mean? That's
third
like
year.
such like a musical,
If he
beautiful
wants to keep
piece.
it, go for it. But all right. Daiwei Dai, who iconic, huge quad toe, very,
Mm-hmm.
very popular. Boyang Jin reappears. He is back on the Grand Prix circuit. Um, what will he be looking like? I don't know. Where is he training? I have no idea. There's another TBD for China. Then we have Mr. Grossel from Italy. The Japanese have Shunsato and Sota Yamamoto. A little bit of a battle of the sleepy Japanese men, but you know,
Not too much, not too
not too
much.
much. Mikhail Shidorov will be there. He'll probably be one of the favorites. Junhwa Cha, another one of the favorites. Mr. Vasilyevs, Camden Polkinen, and Jacob Sanchez rounding it out with their only Grand Prix of the year.
I kind of feel like this is also like a bit of a sleepier event. I will say, I think like the top three would be probably Scheideroff, June, Grassel is
Yeah.
what I would say. I feel like Dennis is always like a fan favorite and like has beautiful skating. So like I'd love to see him kind of like fight for that podium. You never know with any of the Japanese men. Like if they show up, like they could win. Like I could see we'll get to it. We're going to do some finals predictions, and I could see Soda or Shun being somehow in that sixth place spot. But yeah, it's kind of all up in the air. Like, what is Boy Jin gonna look like? I have
What
no
is
clue.
Grassl gonna look like, you know? I was gonna say you could probably throw Shun Shato in the mix for medal here
Oh,
too.
I would
Mhm,
say
mhm.
that's whenever you made. I was like, I think he's
Even Sota, like
That's what I'm saying. Like
they've been so consistent. I feel like. I mean, it just depends
but
on.
also so inconsistent. Like they're up, they're down,
but
they're
that's a
here,
Yeah,
they're
men's skater
there.
right
it's
there.
But
consistent.
that's
I
Alexa.
mean,
men's.
that's
Yeah.
par for the course. Yeah.
That is a men's skater right there. You can't expect consistency. Who are they? Who are you,
No.
Ilya? No, like even Yuma broke our heart last year, all right? Like might be too soon, but
Too
all
soon,
right.
too soon.
Going on to Saskatoon.
Saskatoon.
What is Saskatchewan?
Saskatchewan. Nothing
Okay.
happens. There's like 4 people there.
That is
There will
like
be
too
more
much.
after.
There's
Yeah.
like too much of a rhyme there. Okay.
Yeah.
For Skate Canada, in the end of October. Oh, it's on Halloween. That's
It
cute.
always is. That's what I was gonna say, is that somehow all of the events are like all over the place, but somehow Skate Canada always gets Halloween weekend.
Well, that's great. We love it.
Yeah.
So they will be sending Gogolev, Rakic, and Sadovsky for I mean, their host picks. I mean, Roman would have definitely gotten 2, I would assume, but
Yeah, Roman has to.
yeah, he would have. I feel like he would have gotten 2 regardless. But, um, Gogolev questions on what he'll look like. The health's always an issue. So, I'm interested to see because I think he's the only one that really has a shot in hell of beating Roman.
You know what he should do in order to kind of like make his chances a little bit better? You know what program he should bring back?
The fart program?
The fart program.
The what?
Do you not know
not heard the lore?
I
Gogolev's
don't know if
fart
I've-
Don't know
program?
the lore. There's a
Maybe-
program that like he had where like the music sounded like someone farting for like
The
the
entire
first for like
time.
an opening. It was like the
Oh,
opening.
was it like? Oh, is it?
It
It was
was
like
short.
the mouth. It
Olympic
was like the
year.
mouth noises, or was it no?
I don't remember. I remember listening to it and not thinking it sounded like farts. So
Okay.
it wasn't,
idea.
maybe it wasn't a me. Maybe like,
Did Twitter coin that one?
no, Jennifer
Oh.
Kirk, could have Jennifer Kirk coined it.
Yeah.
So Jenny, we miss you. Anyways, okay, the other Solivko brother, Alexander, will be there. Kevin Amos from Japan. Nika Gatse, second Grand Prix. Mr. Memela will be in Canada. Kaumura, Kazuki Tomono, Vladimir Samalov, Lucas Broussard, and Ilya Malinin. So Ilya getting his done pretty early, and same with Nika Gatse. Who are the standouts here for you guys?
I'm interested to see Kevin.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see how he fares again. He normally has like one good Grand Prix and then one bad one, and so I hope he can really pull it out here. I think that the podium is going to be some combination of Ilya, Cal, and Kevin. I think I would say would be my
I think-
guess. Nika
I would
maybe.
think I think Memela could definitely sneak in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
You also have to
Um,
remember Cow had that major injury last year where he
Yeah.
just also kept competing on it. So how is his health looking?
And Cow's been good at Skate Canada before. I remember seeing him the year that he did the Beauty and the Beast, and like
8.
it was honestly it was amazing. I was
Really
like,
Another one who
I-
peaks early, I would
Yes.
say.
I will say, notice that Kevin has both of his Grand Prix in North America.
I was just about to say, I hope that
Mhm.
Canada, it's close enough to the US
It's
for
very
him
close to the US.
that like
it's
it
like
can be, like same but different
same type of
vibes.
situation.
I do think I feel like we need to talk about he's bringing back Bolero, which was like
Oh yeah, we're going to talk
Mm.
about that next on Sunday's episode.
yes, but
we'll have thoughts.
we'll have thoughts. It like kind of reminded me of like when Nathan was going to go back to the Nemesis
Nemesis.
program. Like, I don't know. Do we need
Can
to
I
battle
be
those
honest,
demons?
though?
Yeah.
His Bolero is like really fucking good. Sorry if anyone's offended by that, but it's really fucking good.
I really liked it. I missed it a
Yeah.
lot after he retired it.
Okay, but let's can this conversation because I have
Yeah.
that planned for Sunday.
Okay.
But okay. Underneath the other thing I have noticed on the Skate Canada, you have Luca Broussard who got 2 Grand Prix. We'll talk about him.
Mhm.
So very excited for him. He's now training in Canada. So
Mhm.
excited to see how he looks with the new coaching staff too. So
I'm also excited to see Kazuki. He is just like a sentimental, like in my heart favorite. Like he just like radiates so much joy when he skates. And
Mhm.
I feel like he, doesn't always peak at the right times for the right teams. And so I don't know, I feel like maybe like I could see this kind of being towards the end of his career. So I don't know. I hope he like goes out and like has good skates and
Mhm.
yeah, always like makes my heart happy.
yeah. Moving on to Osaka, where we'll have Boyang Jin, Francois Pitot from France, Gabriel Frangipani, Matteo Rizzo, Yuma Kagiyama, first time on the Grand Prix late this year, Shun Sato, TBD, Junhua Cha, Lucas Britsky, your boy Adam Hagara got a Grand
Mhm.
Prix, Jimmy Ma, and Andrew Torgashev.
So I
Um,
noticed you talked about with like Yuma him being later, but because he was third at Worlds, he
Oh, he
kind of
did get
gets
the
like
last
he
pick,
just
yeah.
gets the last picks. And with Ilya doing
The first
two
two.
events within like the first 3, like then it just kind of leaves Yuma with, mind you, he probably would have had NHK regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But definitely that's something to think about, the factoring in of like, oh gosh, he's so late. But yeah,
How
who do
would
you,
he look?
I don't know. I wonder like what his programs are going to be. I
Mhm.
hope that he really takes the time over the summer to really work with like a mental coach or just kind of process some of those things. I think that is actually his biggest detriment is himself. So I hope he can kind of work those out, and Carolina can be a good support for him and whatnot. So I'm
I
excited
have,
to see,
Mhm.
but
yeah, I have to say, this feels like the most open Grand Prix of the
Mhm.
4 that we've seen so
Mhm.
far for
Yeah.
someone that's not the favorite to win, could
Mhm.
win. Junhua
Does-
Cha has beaten
mhm.
him. You have who else is
Shun
there?
can always sneak in.
Lucas can throw
Mhm.
down
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah,
We don't know how Boyang looks.
we don't know
Matteo
how
Rizzo.
Mateo
Mateo,
Rizzo.
yeah.
Yeah. Did Matteo only get 1 Grand Prix? No,
No,
he
he
got
has
2.
2.
He got 2.
He's in Finland.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, also like
Yeah.
we see Jimmy Ma, which like it's
Jimmy
great
Ma
that
with 2
he's
Grand
going to be
Prix.
getting 2 Grand Prix spots. Like, listen, he's a 4 continents bronze medalist, so
Mhm.
Work.
he deserve that. Yeah,
He put in the effort. I mean, he got
he
that medal.
totally did. I think like this Grand Prix will be really telling for that 3rd spot for the US men.
Mhm.
Like it's really about who shows up and who's kind of building um that like laundry list. What's it called? Oh my god. He's building his
Criteria.
case. Yes,
The
thank you.
resume.
Yes, he's
Mhm.
building his criteria for the Olympic selection. So
And I have to
yeah.
say,
Mhm.
I might be biased, but I'm Team Naumov and Team Jimmy
Oh, me
Ma.
too. Me too. I'm
One of
Team
one of the
Max.
boys from Boston has to go. Like
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but like Andrew, love you. You got worlds. It was great. You had fun. Okay. All right. The 5th event, which so weird, so weird.
Mhm.
Skate America, so late.
So late.
Basically, it's almost at Thanksgiving time, which is crazy.
I was like, oh no, I'm like, no, Thanksgiving's a month before that, but I
Wrong.
am
But
wrong. Canada.
it's so weird that like I'm normally used to like eating stuffing and watching NHK Trophy,
Mhm.
but this year will be in Finland, which means I actually could watch it in the morning with the Macy's Day Parade.
There you
But
go.
so Skate America, Vladimir Litnetsov, Die Way Die, a little boring, not gonna lie, too boring. Kevin Amos, I saw a tweet on Twitter about this event. I'm not gonna repeat what the tweet is.
Oh my
But
god.
If you
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna
Happy
just read
Pride
these.
Month.
Yeah. I saw a tweet about this event, and I'm not gonna lie, I might have like died inside. I was like, this is so funny. Whoever wrote that, like, you ate. Anyway, so Kevin Amos, Luke Economy, Corey Cercelli, parabens for him
Good
putting
for
down a
him.
random skate last year
Mhm.
that got him on this list. Okay, 3 Italians, Corey Cercelli, Daniel Grassel, Nicola Memola. Crazy that they're all at the same event. Your boy Alexa Kazuki and Satsuya Saboi getting 2 Grand Prix.
Mhm.
Is he the boy that went to Worlds?
He is,
Okay,
yes.
I like kind of forget. There's him, and then there's the guy that like with the I don't know his name. He's got bigger lips.
I don't.
So he's always
Oh,
on Grand Prix too.
oh,
Shinakumura. I think his name's Nakamura. Shunsake. Might be that.
something. I know what you're talking about.
Anyways,
Forgettable boys.
Mikhail Shidorov,
Mhm.
Jason Brown, and
Mhm.
TBD. Only
And
one.
one.
Why
I
did
don't know
they?
how
What
that
happened to
happened.
that 3rd spot? Did they
Did we
They
give
must have
one
give it up.
to Italy because they have 3
Yeah, they
here?
gave it to
Yeah.
Italy.
Could that be some like interesting politicking we could think about like leading into the Olympics?
Yeah.
You know what it also could have been? They might have swapped France for 3 spots
Mhm.
there
Yeah.
in America. I don't know, but
Well, this also I feel like it bodes well for Jason Brown here.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be interesting. He has the back half of the Grand Prix season to
yeah,
give
back to
himself,
back.
yeah, back to back to give him more time to train, hopefully, and get ready for that because he didn't have. Well, was it last season or the one before he showed up but didn't have a good Grand Prix
Last
Last year he had a bad
season.
Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this. When we get to this, but I could see him sneaking into the 6th spot if he goes, bronze, 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 silver. I think it's possible if
Yeah,
he
I
shows
mean
up and others don't.
the Grand Prix that he's that he is at, I wouldn't say anyone's an overwhelming favorite other than
Mhm.
Yuma and Shidorov.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I totally agree. He's definitely someone I think that could. Oh, Adam Shaw and Boz at the next one, but
Mhm.
he could sneak in for
Yeah.
sure.
With like a bronze and a silver.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the TBD, you realistically have 3 people
Mm-hmm.
that are in the conversation for it. Maybe you could talk about like someone at home, like a potential like skater that emerges at say a Cranberry or like on the
Mhm.
domestic scene. But I would say realistically, it's going to be going to either Jacob Sanchez, Maxime Naumov, or Camden Polkanen, because all
Yeah.
3 of those skaters only got 1 Grand Prix. So
Yeah. And both of their events, both of those or all 3 of those skaters are in the first 2 events. So I think
So
it's
they'll
going to be
know.
so they're
Mhm.
like kind of fighting there to see who does what. And then I think that'll probably determine who the 3rd spot is.
Mhm.
And oh, sorry, yes.
You're good. Maybe that was like the negotiation that happened,
Yeah,
like
that's what I
Yeah.
was
with
gonna
Italy.
say.
It's like, yeah, let's front load our skaters who we're not sure who are gonna go.
Yeah.
So
All right, wrapping up the men in Finland in Helsinki. Roman's 2nd Grand Prix. You got Mikhail Selevko, TBD for Finland. I hope it's Dr. Vader.
Oh, yes, me too.
So I hope Dr. Vader gets
wait,
a
who
Grand
is
Prix.
that?
It's the
He
guy.
he's like 36
It's
or
the
Maybe like
guy.
38.
30, and he's like
Oh.
a legitimate like
Legitimate
medical
doctor.
doctor. And like last year he was like very close to getting his
Like
Techmans.
point
Like
something
it
off.
was really, really close. And like he's been around forever.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he's like a full doctor and like still going.
He
I
loves
Wow,
respect
good
it.
for him.
Yeah.
Adam Shao, Matteo Rizzo, Yuma Kageyama. Okay, this is kind of loaded a little bit. Soda
Mhm.
Yamamoto. Dennis, I love Dennis. He's looking good there. Andre Nordbach, love that he got a
I
Grand
love
Prix.
him. Me too. That's what I was gonna say. I
Mhm.
love him.
Luc Broussard, Grand Prix 2. Jason Brown, Jimmy Ma.
This could be like this is
Sneaky hard.
That's pretty good.
yeah. It's kind of like whoever shows up. I do think that it's going to be between Yuma and Adam for that 1
Mhm.
and 2. I think they're going to be the favorites, but like
Soda.
Honestly, the podium
could-
could be like, yeah,
Mateo.
Mateo, Soda, Dennis, Jason.
You know, throw in
Like,
Jimmy Ma or
yeah.
Luca Broussard if they're on.
Right. That's gonna be a good
Misalevko.
one.
So
That's
This
And,
would be a
like,
good one to end on. And it's like,
yeah.
who knows?
and it's
Because
at the
yeah.
end
Mm-hmm.
when you're exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
So
Finland's going to be an interesting event, I think,
In other
overall, in other disciplines too. I think
but this
Finland's
is
like,
definitely still interesting.
yeah,
It's the
I
new
like.
NHK.
I think
Yeah.
it's really gonna be like a deciding factor of who's going to the final. Like, I think it's really gonna come down to this event, which is
Yeah.
exciting.
I know. All right. Where do you want to jump to next? We got the pairs, we got the women, and we have the dance.
Or are we doing our predictions for
No, we'll do that.
at
Let's
the
do
very,
that.
very end?
Or do you
Very
want to
end.
do it? Do you
By
guys want to do
discipline?
it by discipline?
Let's do it by
Well, it's
discipline. Why
fresh,
not?
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it's fresh.
All right. So by the way, for everyone that's listening, we are giving our 6 Grand Prix finalist predictions now
Mhm.
of what
Based
we
off
think could
this.
happen. So, all right. Who wants to go first?
You should start
Ladies
us off,
first.
Nolan.
All
Oh
right.
no, go ahead, Nolan.
For my 6 oh, did you want to go, Clayton?
No.
No. I said ladies first.
Okay. All right. For my men, I have Ilya, Yuma, Mikhail Shidorov, Kevin Amos, Adam Xiaohunfa, and Junhua Cha.
Okay.
I'm interested about Adam. I think that's I want to say that he would go, but I don't have him on my list.
Okay. Who's
Who
on
do
your
you have
list?
on your
I
list?
tried
I
to be
ha
interesting.
I have Ilya, Yuma, Shidorov, June, Shun, Jason. I think that's
Okay.
I don't know if that's a hot take. I
No,
think that
but I
think
like the hot takes.
I think so. I think June and Shun are gonna be really interesting to see because they match up against each other, I think, in the
In
fourth one.
China
In Japan.
and
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
Yes. Alexa.
Okay. I think we all have the same 3, the podium. So we have Ilya, Yuma, and Shidorov. I think that Adam's also going to be there. I also think I'm debating between Cow and Shun, but I'm going to say Cow as a wild card because I think that he had kind of an up and down season and I feel like he's hungry. And then I'm going to say Jason just
Okay.
because I love him.
We like
Hell
to throw in
yeah.
sentimental
Yeah.
favorites and hot
Well, I
takes.
think
And
Okay. Where are we going to next? What are you thinking?
should we go to women?
Should we go to pairs?
Okay,
Let's go pairs.
let's split
Let's
up
go pairs.
singles.
Let's split up the disciplines a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the pairs are quick to get through. Like
Yeah.
there's not as many to talk
There's
about.
not as many, but I think before we start, we should say there is a new pair to add back.
Who?
You didn't hear.
Just maybe. I don't know if you heard, but potentially, the reigning Olympic champions who we
Who?
thought that maybe
Would
were
have new
coming back
partners?
with new partners, but
Mhm.
I don't know if like Kong Hong is just like taped up with a bunch of duct tape right now. But listen, he is back on the ice, and China is saying
Back in this stage.
you need to go
Mhm.
because we have nobody right now and we need somebody. So
I want to know how their triple sows look.
Oh gosh.
Do you think they're just doing the plain side by side double sows now?
I think they should do double
They
axles.
should just do double
I double
sows.
axles. I think
They should
double
do
Well,
double
they'll have to
axle.
do the sequence.
double axle, double toe, double toe. Call it a day.
Double axle, double axle, double toe. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Or sing double axle, single axle,
Single axle.
double toe,
yeah.
double axle.
Okay, starting in France, we have the Aussies, Gulbeva and Gustopoulos Moore, Geostopoulos, I think.
The Australians.
Yeah, Deanna, the Australians with the Greek names, but whatever.
Yeah.
Deanna and Max, Fowla and Bell. I've never heard of this team, but
Were they a junior?
no clue.
Okay, cool.
Not gonna talk about
Yeah, I
them.
don't know.
Cool.
TBD France. Shocking that there's 2 French TBDs when they didn't just give the Kovalevs one of the spots because that's probably like their best pair team they have. So I would assume one of those is going to go to them. The Hungarians, Pavlova and Sviatchenko, Riku and Kihara, and Audrey and Balazs.
Yeah, I think it's
Rough
interesting.
event.
Yeah.
I'm
think we
excited for
can-
Audrey, but rough.
I'm excited for Audrey too. I think it's good that like Deanna right off the gate is facing the Japanese. I hope
Yeah.
that's being used as like motivation. Because what place were they at Worlds? Were they seated?
fifth or sixth? I think they were fifth. Someone else was, I think Efimova was sixth.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was correct.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of a down pair event to start. Because
Yeah.
three
it doesn't-
French teams
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
that are
that
really
doesn't
tough,
help.
going to be really tough watches.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hungarians probably take third, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about
The
the Australians maybe,
but
but I think we know it will probably go to Japan,
Japan,
Canada, Hungary,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right off the bat. That's what I'm thinking. But
you know what? I do hope that Audrey and Balazs use this as an opportunity because, again, with so much up in the air with like citizenship, and at this point, we
Yeah.
will know if a third spot is
has
qualified.
been confirmed. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that'll be interesting. But also, because there's like France didn't qualify a pairs team, China didn't qualify a pairs team. Like all of these countries is going to have to be qualifying a team
Mhm.
in China the month prior. So
They got to be ready.
They got to be ready. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what country sends what team to Chinese Nebelhorn in order to get that. And then like with that and with like those results, how that's going to motivate the teams throughout the Grand Prix season.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Moving on to China.
Mhm.
Speaking of China, we'll have Fiona Bombardier and Ben Mimar. New team, not a new team, but second year. Were they bronze or were they the pewter in Canada last year? I think they were the pewter
because
but they
of
were they have good
Yeah.
potential.
Yeah.
Wen Jianshui and Kang Han, big favorites, obviously.
I'm so excited.
Two Chinese TBDs. They have a junior team that is moving up to senior that I expect will get one of the spots. Metelkina and Brulava
Mhm.
and Conti and Machi also there. Very, very much a difficult event at the top.
Mhm.
McBeath and Parkman, sneaky surprises, I think for sure you could see. And Ganesh and Shigrev from Uzbekistan, who are very solid too.
Yeah.
So,
I
good
feel
event.
like it's actually like there's some pretty good solid teams here.
Mhm.
I think Sui and Han are I would assume, the favorites heading into this. Obviously, we want to see what condition they're in, and I'm assuming we will be seeing them at Chinese Nebelhorn again because China hasn't qualified a spot for the Olympics. So I'm excited to see their programs. I'm excited to see kind of like their
Where they're
fire
at.
back and
Right.
like, I mean, like her landing positions, their
Oh
throws, like,
gosh.
Does she have the short hair still?
Oh, I wonder, like-
hope I need her to have the short hair still.
she is competitive. She's gonna have like it's
a
gonna be so good.
beautiful dress, like Lori Nickel program. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna
I'm
be so
excited.
good. I hope
gonna be
that
so good.
Yeah.
all right, to Canada, where we have the Australians again, Kellyanne and Lucas from Canada also. Leah, okay,
This is
crazy.
We talked about this, before.
We did, but
Mhm.
all right, Kellyanne and Lucas,
Mhm.
Leah and Trent, and Deanna and Max, all at Skate Canada.
Why
Why?
would you have your top two teams at the same event? Why
Top
didn't they
three.
have, but like the top two that are going to go to the Olympics?
Yeah.
But like, why
Mhm.
didn't they have Leah and Trent go to Cup of
Like
China
America?
the week
Mhm.
before and like have Ben and Fiona at Skate Canada?
Mhm.
Because even like, as you'll see, the rest of the skaters, we have Anastasia and Luke from Great Britain, Minerva and Nikita from
Mhm.
Germany,
And Ellie and Danny.
and Ellie and Danny. We also have a Swiss
A
team.
Swiss team, but they're not in the yeah.
But I'm like, why would you send Leah and Trent when they could be a podium favorite
in
Mhm.
China?
in China?
Mhm.
Well,
I mean,
it could be tough because Georgia and Italy, but I'm just like,
Right.
Yeah,
but Why
I
aren't you
th-
switching this up?
I think that
We're
also
sending to France.
it's a gamble. Yeah, I think they would rather go to, yeah, I think they should go to France. I think the gamble is like, do they want to go all the way to China? Is that, and like that's the I think whenever Skate Canada is just the next week and they could stay home, I think that
Yeah.
like maybe they just want to be comfortable, which is I get, but like if you're again, I think
and they're spaced out.
yeah, I think they take a podium here though. No? I think there's a well,
It's
okay,
I
so
think it's between them and Ellie and Danny,
Ellie
but
and
then
yeah,
Danny.
yeah,
also
yeah, yeah.
but also the Australians can kind of, if they skate to clean
Yeah.
programs and others make mistakes, right?
And
So
don't hate
Mhm.
on my girl Anna and Luke, all right? Like
Mhm.
they
I
got a
love
Grand
them.
Prix.
I love them so much. I love
Mm.
them so much, and I'm so happy for them.
They should have got two. Robbed.
I
Hashtag
know.
robbed.
But you know what? They got that Olympic spot.
They
So
did. That's all that
Mhm.
matters.
that's all that matters.
To Osaka, where we have Wenjie Shi and Kang Han again. The Kovalevs make their appearance on the Grand Prix. Pavlova and Sviatchenko again. Sarakanti, Nicola Machi, TBD just for Japan, which
Mhm.
no Riku and Ryuichi there, which
And
I understand now because of who's there, but Danlova and Sitsika from the Netherlands, Efimova and Mitrofana from the USA, and Emily Chin and Spencer Howe, also from the USA, who I thought were done skating.
Mhm.
And I'm shocked that they're still together, but
I just didn't know if he had any, like, if they had any body parts that still worked
I
at
just
all.
had not seen a
So,
single thing from them all
Mhm.
summer. I've seen
but
her
that's
just like jumping on
exciting.
her like by herself, and I'm like, okay, maybe they aren't skating together
Maybe
anymore, but
maybe he
I
got
guess
like a
they
new
are.
arm. I don't know. Maybe he got a new shoulder arm, because that was the injury, right? Was arm?
Shoulder.
Shoulder, yeah. But they're, again, they're also one of the teams that are in the mix for
One of the
that.
two teams
Well, it's the thing, citizenship, man.
that
Like,
actually
listen,
has
they
a
got
shot.
it. So, like, but
Um,
yeah, I think this is, again, Sween Hans to lose. You made a
Mhm.
really good point about Riku and Ryuichi not doing NHK, which, again, like, they would have had first pick. You also have to think that they
Oh, yeah.
are training in Toronto or Oakville.
Mhm.
So,
Back
the
to
trip to
back.
Japan, like, that's not an easy one.
Mhm.
So doing some things a bit closer to home for them, but yeah, it's interesting that they're like, yeah, I think it's Sween Hans to lose here. I also feel like, you get Kantin Machi there as well, probably second. And then I think third, I would love to see Alyssa and Misha in third
Mhm.
there. I also think that Hungary is also in that mix as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaky there.
Mhm.
I mean, you could say maybe Emily and Spencer, but I mean, I need to see them.
I just think maybe we should make it through 2 programs.
Yeah, I need to see them skate
That's
that before.
that would be a good goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, to America. Back to Lake Placid that we go. Kellyanne and Lucas with their rounding out with their second Grand Prix. Metelkina and Berlava, second Grand Prix. Hawk and Kunkel, first appearance on the Grand Prix. Riku and Ryuichi, second Grand Prix. Surprise here with the juniors, Olivia Flores and
Mhm.
Luke Wang, couple times World Junior medalists, I believe. So great for them to get a spot. Valentina Palacios and Max Fernandez coming back from injury.
So forgot about them.
He was injured last
Mhm.
year and she was on the ice working, but TBD for USA and the Uzbeks rounded out.
Okay, so for this TBD spot,
Girl, it could be
I think
it could be
I
anyone.
well,
Yeah.
because I was thinking it's probably between Audrey and Balaj and
Mhm.
Emily and Spencer.
Yeah.
But then you like have
Or
to, yeah, because I was like, am I missing anybody?
there is a junior team that is senior. I think their name
Okay.
is like Naomi and Lachlan or
Oh,
like
yes, yes,
Mm.
I know. Yes, I know what you're talking
it
about.
depends on what their intent for the TBD is. If they want it to go to like Audrey or Spencer, someone that's on the Grand Prix, or they want to give it to a developing team. But
Mhm.
then you have, no offense, but there will be 3 teams. If you give it to the junior team, you have 3 teams here that are non-factors at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then you also, if say like Emily and Spencer say had a good NHK,
Right.
they're getting the red eye back right from Japan and having to go to Lake Placid. So
Yeah.
definitely things to consider. I feel like this is a pretty watered down event.
Yeah.
Japan's pretty easy favorites.
Georgian second.
Georgia second, and then third could be the Canadians, could be the
I think
Germans,
it's
and
the
could be the
Uzbeks.
Uzbeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? It's a great opportunity for the young US teams, and that's good for them to get some exposure and
Great for Live and Luke. Live,
Yeah,
laugh.
yeah.
I think they say like live, laugh,
live, love,
laugh,
Luke.
Luke.
Yeah.
So, all right, rounding out the pairs in Finland, we have Miss Leah Pereira, who told us that the Grand Prix were occurring yesterday. So, kiss to you,
Thank you,
Leah.
Leah.
Zhang and Huang, this is the junior Chinese pair that won the Grand Prix final. And I think
Oh,
they had a
they're eligible?
Yeah, they're senior eligible.
Okay.
They had a messy junior worlds, but they are pretty talented, have good throws. Minerva Nikita. I feel like I've said Minerva and Nikita like 50 times today, but
Mhm.
all right, Rebecca and Filippo, only one Grand Prix for them. And one thing we should note here, the cat Italians, Matteo
Not
Guarise,
here.
where are they at? Okay, but they were injured. So
Okay.
that
Corey
doesn't,
Cercelli might know because that isn't he like BFFs with her?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yuna Nagaka and Sumita Moriguchi. That's the younger Japanese team that had that really good lift last year.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty talented too. The Polish team, Efimova and Mitrofanov and Ali and Danny.
Interesting. They have the two of them competing against each other.
It's 100%.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that she cannot go to the Olympics.
I
because
know.
I'm so upset every day.
I just like her running, them running, and like, oh, it's so good. It's so good.
It irks me to no end. Yeah. Does anyone have any thoughts about this before we go to our finalists?
I think that it's the Germans easy. I think then for second, third, fourth, you look at Leah and Trent, and then the two USA teams. I don't think that the Italians are as much of a threat as they once were. Their side by sides can be really tough for them, even with the axles. But I am excited to see. I didn't realize that was the Chinese team because I will say I didn't know she was senior eligible.
I think she's like just 17 or 18, like
Okay.
just on the cusp.
Actually, or is that what her passport says?
I don't know.
Okay, because she
I'm
looks
not gonna speculate, but
we don't need to. But she looks very young. But you know what?
she does look young.
Yeah.
I will say that. Okay. Anything for you, Clayton?
I mean, I think there's a potential for like the American teams to both be on the podium, which I think would be good for just like the pairs in general. Yeah, I think it's a
weak event.
it talks for itself, I would say.
Yeah. And Leah Pereira too. She could also make a push some.
Yeah.
All right. Who is making the final? Who's going to Japan in December?
You go first, because I need to think about this one for a second.
All right. Well, I came prepared. So, Swain Han obviously will be going. Minerva Nikita, I think obviously will be going. I have Sarah, and this also, by the way, when I say these are not in the order of how I think they'll be ranked. It's just my Sarah Conti and Nicola Machi, I think will be going. Riku and Ryuchi will be going. Deanna and Max will be going.
Is that 5?
It's 5. And then I have Alisa and Misha going.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
For my sentimental hot take.
Okay. I'm going to say your same top 5, but I'm switching Alisa and Misha for the Georgians.
Oh, I forgot about the
Yeah.
They'll probably go over Alisa and Misha, but I totally forgot they were a
I
team.
can never
when I was
forget
doing
if
this.
you come out on the ice in a black hood, I'm never gonna forget you ever.
And
So
sparkles rhinestone down your
yeah,
hair.
like it doesn't matter any kind of hood. So I guess for you, Olivia Smart, it goes. Yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna forget
Yeah.
Camila's program either. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I have the exact same thing as Clayton with the Georgians instead. I do think that like that sixth spot, again, when Nolan said with Elisa and Misha, I feel like that's also where you could think about like, oh, potentially Ellie and Danny could like maybe sneak in like they did last year. But again, we
Yeah.
didn't have Sui and Han last year. I know Leah and Trent have made it in the past, but I don't think like I think they'd be lucky to get like 2 bronzes this season, I think is maybe best case, but
They're in a tough field too.
they're in some tough fields.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. To the dance or to the women?
do you want to do women and end with dance?
I would like to end with the
Yeah.
dance.
I would like to end with dance too.
Okay. All right. I need to switch my paper. All right. To the women. Where are my notes? Notes. I have my notes here, people.
Love.
All right. We begin. I mean, this is like our bread and butter, of course. Obviously, like we love the women, but
Love the
we
women.
begin the Olympic year on the Grand Prix with Nina Petrokina in France, Laureen Shield, 2 TBDs for France, which one I think will go to Lea Serna. Miss Ami Nakai from Japan,
Making her senior debut.
Kaori Sakamoto in France. We haven't seen that in a while.
Mm-mm.
We have seen Rion Sumiyoshi in Japan like every single year, and I hope she's like watering her flowers there, like with the blessed rain. Like I mean, I want to see it all. Cheon Kim versus Young Yu there. Young is skating to Titanic, which
Nolan's in his Titanic, like
I am.
he's in
I
his
really
Titanic
am.
era right now.
Okay.
So that fills my heart with joy. All right,
Mhm.
Liv Kaiser, Isabeau Lovito, and Elise Lynn Gracie.
All right. I think someone I was sleeping on and didn't know or forgot that she was coming or going senior was Ami Nakai. I think that she has 2 spots, so I think that like she could really come out of the gates running. Cheon Kim, I think this is her like redemption tour.
Yeah.
She needs this so bad, but it kind of sucks that she's going up against Kaori, Ami,
Rion.
Rion Solid, Isabeau.
Isabeau.
This is okay. Wait,
Petrokina.
this is a stacked event, low key.
It really is. Like, ugh.
Elise, I mean, she had a great that one challenger. She could repeat it somehow.
That one event. She
That
did
one
great.
of Hey, you know what?
challenger.
She did get bronze at Junior Worlds. Let's give
She
her that
did.
too.
She did.
Yeah.
And I really love her technique. I really enjoy watching her jump. So
She is big jumps. I will say
Mhm.
that. They might not be super tight in the air, but she does have
No.
big jumps. To China. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Wait, I was just gonna say the event is a little bit crazy. Like Young Yu's back on the circuit. Nina Petrokina, like she made some crazy moves last season, really kind of coming in of like, hey, here to kind of play and be in that top 10. We didn't talk about who we think could be the top 3. And I think it could be interesting because I think we have Kaori, which I would assume that would kind of be the winner. And then we have Cheon and Isabeau is what I would say is top 3.
Okay.
But then
That's
but then you have Nina Petrokina who can like pull out a 140. It's her short program that can sometimes be a little hit or miss. You have Ami Nakai, who does she have triple axels?
triple axel.
Does she have them? We'll see. If they're clean. We saw her at cricket over the summer. Elise can be thrown in there. Rion's in there. Young's
Never forget Blessed Rain. All right.
like-
Don't ever hate on Blessed Rain.
it's
This
gonna
is
be kind of
tough.
crazy. Like I think it's gonna be kind of like a men's event, and like whoever shows up is gonna win.
Yeah.
It's
All
a good way
right.
to start the season.
To China, where you only have Bevju, Yuju written down right now. I'm wondering what that means for their Nebelhorn selection chances because they don't have Nini at all anywhere. But 2 TBDs, you would think one will go to Nini.
Yeah.
Gubanova, Rino Matsuik, Hana Yoshida, and Rinka Watanabe, the 3 Japanese women. Hyan Lee, my daughter, Jia Shin, only one Grand Prix. Hashtag robbed.
Oh, it
I know
hurts.
why, but
It
hashtag
hurts.
robbed. Kimmy Rapond, Amber Glenn, and Alyssa Liu at the same event, which is crazy.
Which is crazy. Well, Alyssa would have had first pick, and Amber being she was sixth or fifth. She was fifth.
It's just fifth.
Okay, so she would have got some of the leftovers, still had some choice. But yeah, interesting. They have the two of them up against each other.
You would think that they do it in America if they wanted them to go. And also, you have to think Alyssa Liu in China now.
I know that's also what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Was like,
Security.
security, but like, also she's choosing to go there, which I also like.
I
Another
think
reason,
she'll be
another
fine.
reason just
It
to
could be
love
like a
her.
tongue. It could be like a tongue-in-cheek moment for her. Just like, you know what? Let's just go back for fun.
Maybe it could be like a nice like NBC fluff piece, you know, like they could
Yeah.
throw that in, like yeah.
Yeah.
Again, another kind of competitive event.
Very competitive. Yeah.
I mean,
I-
Rinka can throw down sometimes. So can Hannah. Reno randomly
Reno,
will show
oh
up.
God, I really am so excited to see what program she has.
My daughter can put up 212. All right, like don't hate.
Oh yeah. Oh no,
We
maybe
have
she could do
Kimmy
better than that.
Rapond. We have Kimmy Rapond, who's just
Hyan
always
Lee.
beautiful. Yeah. Gubanova, if she shows up, or is she
Is she in space?
Is she in
Is
space?
she
Has she been
space?
launched out? Has she been launched back down to Earth?
Wait, y'all,
don't know.
I'm totally rethinking my top 6 predictions right now.
I have literally no clue. I
I've
have
changed,
no clue.
Yeah.
I've changed it like 10 times already as we're talking.
Okay. To Canada. Belgium. Nina Pinzerni. Is she a Handmaid's Tale today, this year?
Is she a table? Is she a chair?
Is she a chair? I mean, is she a cup? You never know.
You never know.
Sarah Maud Dupuis.
Dupuis.
I don't know. Madeline Skizas. TBD. TBD. Looking at you, KMS. Laranaki Gutman. Yuna Aoki. Mon Chiba. Ami Nakai, second Grand Prix. Asun Yun from Korea. Sarah Everhart. Isabeau Levito. Brady Tennell.
It's crazy. We have 3 Canadians, 3 Japanese skaters,
3 Americans.
US. Yeah.
And Belgium and Italy.
And Belgium. Yeah. Like.
And Korea. Don't forget about Asun.
Yes.
Another. Wait, never mind. We don't want to talk about programs. We'll wait to the program talk next.
Okay. But
I mean,
you think it's Mon and Isabeau's?
I think it's Mon and Isabeau's. I mean, listen, I love Yuna. I'm so happy that she's continuing. We'll get into it with NHK next week, but I also hope that maybe she gets that host pick spot. But again, TBD, we'll see. But then like you have very consistent queens like Sarah Everhart and Brady Tennell coming off a 4 continents podium at the end of the season last year.
Can I say something?
Laura Naki.
Yes, Clayton.
I think if I were Isabeau, I'd be a tad nervous. And here's why. She's out of her first Grand Prix is in France, and we said it's really stacked. I honestly could see her off the podium there. And here, I just think, I don't know, something about Brady this season, or like
you're on the Brady train. Oh my God.
I don't even like love her like that. Like I appreciate her skating. I enjoy her. She's great. She's a good skater. I don't know. I think that like, especially all the NBC coverage and just like establishing like this is gonna be our Olympic team, like something feels wrong to me, and I feel like not and that's no diss at Isabeau. I do worry for her like jumps, and her back and all that sort of thing. But I don't know. I think Brady's gonna be really hungry, and I could see like a big upset, but not to get too into conspiracies.
You're a hater. Isabeau has 50 lives with those jumps, and
she does.
Wrong.
She does have 50 lives.
That girl's never gonna die. All right, I'm telling you, never doubt a girl from Jersey.
You're right.
Okay. Speaking of Jersey, we'll talk about Jersey later. There's some people we need to talk about for Jersey, but NHK Luna and Nina.
Return of my girl Luna. I hope her ankle looked like she's like been back on the ice the past few
Not
days,
jumping
few
though,
weeks.
but
Well,
yes.
baby steps. She's got like a nice hot boyfriend. It looks like they're building a house. Like,
They're biking every
yes,
day.
she's biking all the
He
time.
always
Like,
posts in the gym. I'm telling
mhm.
you, that girl has been working out.
She is ready. Yeah,
KMS, Catherine Medlin Spence.
I'm so happy she got a Grand Prix and so well deserved. Her
She
free
better
skate
get
music,
two.
I think she will. I don't think there's really anybody else in Canada that's kind of fighting.
Kaya, or the two Russian
Oh
girls.
yeah, Kaya.
Oh.
Huh.
They have a new Russian girl they got that I think might be able to compete.
It starts with Uliana.
No. They
She's
got
been
some
there
girl.
for a
There's
while.
some good. No, there's some girl
Oh.
at the cricket they got.
Oh.
She's a good
Okay.
triple-lutz, triple toe. But I don't know if she's eligible to compete internationally yet.
Okay.
Don't know. Miss Anna Pezzetta, first Grand Prix ever. She only got one, but
So did the other Italian, Laura.
Laura got two. Laura
No,
she
she
got
got
did?
two. She got
Oh,
two.
okay.
Um, yes, Wakaba making her debut a little late, which is exciting. She did only get she was sixth, so
So she
you
gets
know.
the leftovers.
And she is back to back. Same with Sarah Everhart. They're back to back. We'll get to it. But Kaori, TBD, which if it is not Yuna Aoki or Sake Miyaka, I will come after the
Whoever-
Japanese Federation.
Yeah.
Sorry. Samodokina making her Grand Prix debut. Young Yu again, Kimi Rapond, Sarah Everhart, and Elise Lynn Gracie.
None of these events are easy. They're
No.
like
I'm
literally
like looking at this, I'm like, wait.
I actually think this one could be easier if you were a top level competitor.
I
Like,
think that it's
This
Kaori's.
one might have been better for Isabeau to go to, I think.
Yes.
I agree. I
agree. Because with Luna, you don't know it's
what
gonna be.
she's gonna put out.
But she will be assuming at Chinese Nebelhorn because she'll need to qualify that second spot for Belgium. So we will see her in
True.
September.
Will Nina's jumps be around?
Will Nina's jumps be around? Will Samodokina lock in? How will Young Yu look?
How is Wakaba's gonna prepare
How's
for two
Wakaba?
back-to-back?
Do you think she'll bring back the triple axel this season? I hope so too.
Really hope so. Especially if she wants to compete with.
Yeah.
I think
The
Ami
medal.
is, and
She
Ami's
wants the medal.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
can
to
I
make the
be
team.
honest?
I don't think
she's relevant.
I don't think she's a
Clayton.
factor.
I don't think she's a
Really?
factor.
I do.
I
I do.
don't.
I do.
No, she's very junior.
Still very junior to
I
me.
know she's so junior, but like the same thing happened with Rika Kahira whenever she went senior for her first season and had the triple axel and the buzz and everything.
But she had like
I know, but
she
I
had
don't
a cleanliness to her
I
skating
agree.
that Ami doesn't.
I so agree that Rika is better. Like I just think that I wouldn't put it past J Fed to do something like that. And is she not coached by
Hamada?
Yeah.
She's not.
No.
Really?
She's with this like I don't know his name, but she's with Aoki's coach. Yuna Aoki.
Okay.
I don't know if you know. I know what he looks like. I don't know his name.
I'm just saying, like, also she has better spot. She has better like placements, I think, on the Grand Prix too. I think I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
No,
you can call me crazy.
Clayton,
I'm calling you crazy, but it's okay.
I agree. I see where you're coming from because I do think that, especially in an Olympic season, Japan does love to kind of go for the up and comer.
They went with Mana last time.
They with Mana last time, and even in 2018, going with Kaori over Wakaba, right? So I do think they tend to go for like
the youth,
the up and coming. I don't think it worked out the best for them last time. I still feel like Mai Mihara still like
Mai Mihara's so robbed.
Like so robbed. Like
I was so rooting for Mana Koabe at that time, but now looking back at it would have sent Mai Mihara.
I would have sent Mai Mihara. She deserves all her flowers. Like
also she doesn't have any Grand Prix.
I don't know if she has any ligaments left, honestly.
I know, but rest in peace, Mai Mihara. We miss you.
We do.
Here, I think it's Kaori's to lose, right?
Yeah. And I think Wakaba's
probably second. Maybe.
But then third is like
anyone.
Nina, maybe.
Sarah
You have
Everhart.
Sarah Everhart, Kimmy Rapond, whoever the
Yuna
TBD
Aoki.
Yuna
Yeah.
Aoki. I hope it's her. I really hope it's her.
Could they sweep again? Because Yuna
I
Aoki is
would
gonna
love
be on our
that.
when
Yeah.
you watch this video, Yuna Aoki's gonna be on our cover photo. So
We
I
love
think we're
her.
trying to manifest it. Anyways, all right, are we done with Japan?
We can go to Skate America.
All right, to America. Leia Serna. Okay, great that you got a Grand Prix. Gubanova coming to space, coming to Lake Placid. Laurinaki coming to Lake Placid. Do I need to go to Skate America? Because Wakaba's also there.
I know.
Honestly, it is faster for me to go to Lake Placid than it is for me to go to Saskatoon. And
Should we
let's just say
go? Do we
I'm
want to
so
like meet
down
up?
because
A huge collab.
Do you want to go to
Sask
Lake Placid, Clayton?
I'm
I
so
would
down.
go.
Come
I'm
pick
I can
me
so
drive
up.
down.
there. Oh, I see that you'd have picked me up. You're farther
Yeah,
south than I
I
am.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Wakaba, Rinka Watanabe always throws down. Hana Yoshida always randomly throws down. Cheon Kim, is she the grid? I don't know. Hyan Lee, Chan versus Hyan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Kurakova. I could do without seeing that, but
Good for her.
good for her. Alyssa Liu, obviously, need to see. And two TBDs.
Wow.
Okay, so Nolan and I were chatting before this.
We wrote
And
the
so
list down.
yeah, and
Oh,
so I think
really?
it's so interesting that they chose Alyssa. I mean, I get it, reigning world champion for this Skate America spot. And then the fact that there's two TBDs and the fact that right now the US women's field is so deep. And the fact that like all of those other skaters have two Grand Prix right now. So they have these two TBD spots, which I think actually is really great for this like up and coming kind of next generation, because I do think it is pretty top heavy right now for US women. But once you kind of go a tier below, there is a
It's
pretty
top
drastic,
heavy.
it's a pretty drastic drop. So I do think that this is like a really great opportunity for some of the skaters that maybe we wouldn't necessarily see, and it gives them an opportunity. So Nolan, who did we have on that list?
So I have 5 names written down of people that I think are eligible and could potentially be in the mix.
It's like Tyra Banks. I have 5 photos in my hand.
Yes.
So
And 6 girls before me.
you have Star Andrews. I think she's in the mix. Always, she's a Grand Prix, she's a seasoned competitor. Wouldn't be shocked. Ava Marie Ziegler is the wild card, depending on her health. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I have not heard a single thing about her skating this summer. So I don't know if she's even on the ice. Like, I don't know what's going on. I need to do some digging, but not so sure about her. But I wrote the name down just because you never know. She could be in the potential mix. Then you have Josephine Lee. This is her first year
Love
senior.
her. Love
Lovely skater.
Mm-hmm.
Technically gets a little bit hammered by the unders sometimes, but she's someone that I think could really be in the mix for it. She does do a lot of those domestic competitions early. It also depends on if she's going junior, because she could still go junior this year, and they have a lot of spots in the JGP this year. Mia Callan, another one who's senior eligible. I would say honestly, she's probably the most unlikely of the 5 that I've written down. New coach, new technique, working through it. And then I think I have Sonia Hilmer as wildcard number 5.
She is such a fan favorite.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's going to go Star and Josephine. That's what my initial gut is, but I also haven't seen.
I think it depends on how Ava's skating and where her health is at.
I think that is the most likely scenario, but my dream would be like Ava
Star
and Sonia.
Oh,
and Sonia. No, I love Sonia.
I miss Ava so much. I still think about her short program at Four Continents that one season.
Yeah,
that was so fun.
Love.
But I was curious. So since like Alyssa chose Skate America, I'm assuming, do you think the other American ladies were like, okay, since she got that first pick, like we want to steer clear of being up against her in America, and that's why we have 2 open TBDs?
I don't know, but I also was thinking because like Isabeau also would have gotten first round because she was 4th of that second tier of seating.
Right.
And
If
then
I was
Amber
Sorry, go
would have been
ahead.
fifth, so she would have that second of the second seating.
Mhm.
But I also think it is smart politically for USFS because they have so many skaters who already are getting spots on the Grand Prix.
Mhm.
It does open up those 2 new spots for skaters that wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity. Now, is
Mhm.
that going to maybe like sell tickets the same way? No,
Mhm.
but by having somebody like Alyssa there, who is, you know, the reigning world champion and has so much buzz around her already going into the Olympic season,
Mhm.
I don't think if like Amber was there also, that would have been like a deciding factor for somebody to buy tickets. I think Alyssa is enough of a big kind of media name right now that that's going to sell tickets.
I
Yeah.
think Alyssa and Amber there would have been for tickets. It would have been even better.
It would have, but
Mhm.
hey, they can go to China
I know.
and see the two of them.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they can
Yeah,
go
that's
to
where I'm
China.
confused because I think they should have just had Amber in Skate America, but she's also doing the final event, Finland. So that could have played into it.
I
So
was gonna say, I wonder how much of it was also trying to figure out what was the best, like most likely opportunity to qualify more people for the final.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
To
also, is there,
Fin oh yep.
sorry, is there a
No,
world where we wager one of the spots and give it to Gia Shin?
they should.
I think
All
that's what
right.
we should do.
Josephine Lee doesn't need her spot.
Sorry, Josephine Lee.
Sorry, Josephine. But all right. To Finland, Thanksgiving, Luna Hendricks, Madeline Skizis, Nina Petrokina again, Ida Karunen, junior Finnish skater, probably the leading girl for the Finnish Olympic spot. 2 TBDs for Finland, Lorraine Shield, Mona Chiba, Rina Matsuik, Rian Sumiyoshi, Amber Glenn, and wrapping out the women, Brady Tennell.
I think
Thoughts?
it's another good one. I think that like maybe this is Luna's best chance to step onto a
Yeah, I
podium.
agree.
Again, I'm praying for my girl Reno Matsuike. I need her. I want her to make the final so bad.
Me too. I would love to see her at the final. I feel like this podium is likely Moan,
Amber,
Amber, and then
Mhm.
third could be Reno. It could be Brady. It
Rian.
could be Rion. It could be
Mhm.
Nina Petrokina. I feel like we kind of forget about her sometimes, but
She's there.
She did win Europeans.
Uh-huh.
And she's
So,
keeping her Dune free skate.
oh,
But
she is.
Mhm.
I don't love that, I'll be honest.
Oh, I
Okay.
do. I'm okay
I
with
love the
it.
dress, but
Yeah. We just saw so much Dune last season. I'm like, I don't
I did
know.
see a lot of Dune last season.
We did.
I wonder what the big kind of war horse is going to be this season. Like I don't know if there was any movies that like I know like Wicked Part 2 is coming out, but I don't think
That's
people are
true.
going to be doing like For
For
Good as like
good.
yeah. So
I don't know. But
okay,
yeah, all right.
what are
Women's
our final?
finalists.
I have no idea.
I have
Oh
mine.
God.
Okay,
Go,
let's
go
then let's say
Nolan.
yours.
Mine are kind of uncontroversial.
Okay.
Okay.
This is no order. Gowrie, Alyssa, Moan, Isabeau, Jayon, Amber, Wakaba. Basically just the world
Mm,
Okay.
minus Jayon.
I'm I'm thinking, yeah, I have written down Alyssa, Cowrie, Monet, Cheon, Amber, Isabeau. I think that now I want to swap it. I know you're gonna bully me, but I want to say Amy Kai. No, I'm not. I'm gonna say
Yeah, I was gonna
well,
bully you.
I know, but like I think Wakaba's detriment is that she has the back-to-back assignments. I think so that's what makes me go
Yeah,
Isabeau
that's
instead
tough.
of Wakaba.
That's why I have Wakaba as or.
Okay.
Mm,
Is it Wakaba? Wait, did you say Wakaba or Wakaba?
Wa- I don't know. Wakaba, Wakaba.
talk about.
Okay.
Somebody in the comments maybe can tell
Let
us
us
Yeah,
correct.
know which
I
Let
know.
us
one.
know. Let
I
us
know.
We'll
know.
probably
I
still
know.
mess it up.
I know my Southern ass has been butchering every single one of these names, so
You didn't have to read all the names.
I know. Well, yeah, but every time I say something, but yeah, you did great, Nolan. We
I'm trying my
appreciate you.
best, let
We
me
Yeah.
tell you.
appreciate your effort for sure.
Um, any thoughts? Alexa, did you have yours
Oh,
or
okay. Yeah. So I think that it's going to be Cowrie, Alyssa, Amber, Monet, Cheon. And then I think the sixth spot is between Wakaba and Isabeau.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, let's be honest. I think this is probably the most exciting
It's so
and why we
exciting.
left it last because do we have to go to Finland?
We might.
All right, let's
And we
start.
might.
We're gonna start with Angers in France, where you have Marie Jade and Roman Lagac, former French competitors, by the way. Just want to point that out. Back in France.
They go to the Olympics for
Did go to
France.
the Olympics for
Yeah.
France. Won't be going to the Olympics for Canada, but
No.
Laurence Fournier-Baudry, someone who did go to the Olympics for Canada.
Yeah.
Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Guillaume Cizeron. We're gonna, okay, by the way, we will be talking about this team on our episode on Sunday. So if you're gonna, if you are like, why aren't they talking about this? We will.
We will.
We will. We have it prepared.
We have thoughts.
2 TBDs for France. Diana and Gleb, Lila and Lewis, Charlene and Marco, Allison Reed, Ian and Emily, and Peyton Bai.
We might also have to go to
Wow.
France.
I know.
I love Brady and Somerville, so
I do too. I do too, but I'm fearful for with this layout, this roster, that it's not gonna be the event they want, but it's gonna be. And I also fear for Lila fear. I think I would be fearful.
I'm fearful for her because she won the world medal and has to go up against Guignard and Fabry and the new French team.
You know, she can't have her cake and eat it too.
Like I'm fearful for her.
I have no idea who's gonna win.
I don't either.
I have
don't-
no idea. I think
I would bet on the Italians. That's my best bet. I think.
I'm betting on Fournier and Baudry.
I'm
Me
not.
too.
I'm
I don't
not.
want to, but like
I don't.
I'm not putting that energy out there. I refuse to accept it, and so it's not gonna happen. And the Italians are gonna win.
I don't
Is
wanna be-
Lila paying enough money to beat them, to Marie France?
Well, that's well, can we just judge skating skills, and then maybe we would just have a clear
Are
winner.
you kidding me, Clayton? This is ice dance. Do you think any of this is real?
No, it's
Never.
not real. It's not
Absolutely
real.
not.
God forbid I want a fair sport.
God forbid.
Kill me. Kill me.
I mean, I think it will be those 3 on the podium.
Yeah.
I just don't know in which order.
I have no clue which order.
And I think Reed and
Fourth.
Vicious 4th,
And they'll be coming off of Chinese Nebelhorn, so
where they hopefully qualify a spot.
they better. She finally got her passport.
Yeah. Okay. The China. You have 3 Chinese dance teams. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we need to commentate on them.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah. Someone we do need to talk about is Olivia Smart and Tim D. What?
You're funny.
What? What do you? I don't even know who these teams are.
I don't either. I think it's just no. I don't either.
We wish them well.
We do,
them well.
and we do.
Congratulations.
And we do wish them well.
I just don't know who they are. They're probably going to be the bottom 3 in the Grand Prix, like
Correct.
in the
I agree.
what? They're going to be 9. What is it? 10? They're going to be
10, 11, 12.
10, 9, 8. In some
Oh,
way.
wait, sorry. Oh, yeah, I can't do math either.
All right. Anyways, Olivia and Tim. I've heard some rumblings about, I'm not going to say what the program is, but I've heard rumblings and I'm excited. Clayton might not be.
I know.
If you revert back to
No.
Nina Petrokina,
Well, if it's
Clayton might not be.
different, I'm just not, especially in an Olympic year, I'm just like, are we really repeating a program?
it's not repeating.
It's not
It's not
re-repeating.
repeating.
Allegedly.
Oh, no,
Allegedly.
I know she's not. I'm talking about Nina. Sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. My French team, Demogier Larassier, Lobreva Brissot, Hannah Lim and Ye Kwan with their 1 sole Grand Prix, Chalk and Bates, which this is such a smart and strategic move by them. We'll get to that in a minute. Green and Parsons, and Zingis and Klesnik.
So
Another-
also very interesting that France is the week before and there
Mhm.
are 2 TBD France spots, and the 2 top French teams prior to Guillaume come back are at this event and not at the
Yeah.
French event. I think that says so much.
And so you have here, I was talking to Alexa before these came out. We were trying to figure out where we think the dance teams would go. And I remember saying, well, Chalk and Bates will probably want to avoid France because you'll probably have to deal with Guillaume and maybe like an Italian because the Italians were fourth. And they said they might, like, I know this might be it's not ideal for them, but they might want to go to China because you're likely to not have like a lot of controversial people there for like dance, like who they have here. You have Olivia and Tim and Lobreva and Briso. Like that's like those are great skaters, but those aren't like people that Chalk and Bates
As a
really will
direct
have
threat.
a
Yeah.
direct threat. Yeah. And Dingus and Klesnik, Green Parsons there, going for that fourth and fifth spot, I feel.
Yeah, my heart does hurt for them a little bit. But happy for the Koreans too. Another thing we did talk about is that somebody who we noticed who isn't here is the Australian team.
Yeah, no Australian team on the Grand Prix.
No Australian team on the Grand Prix. So Holly Harris in your fabulous dresses. We will see you at the Challenger Series.
Yeah. Okay. To Saskatoon, where we were going to see the same old tired story of Piper Paul and Zachary and Marjorie at the same Grand Prix, taking again, not separating them and sending them somewhere different. And I'm upset by that, but that's okay. They have a TBD spot. You have the Morozics from the Czech Republic, Torkilkina and Verlusis from Finland, the German team, who did pretty well at Worlds, Reed and Ambrovicius again, Brady and Somerville again, Carrera and Ponomarenko, and Leonessa and Artem Markelov from the US.
I think that here it's a pretty solid 1-2, which it typically is at Skate Canada with Piper and Paul and Lala. I do think the conversation for third is interesting because I think that it can go between Carrera and Ponomarenko. They did beat Lala at Worlds, but I think that was just a lot of home cooking. I don't think that's real. I think they're leaps and bounds ahead. But then you have, Allison Reed, and then you also have the Finnish team as well, who I love.
Yeah.
Like, I think that can kind of be that fight for third, but I do think it'll go to Carrera and Ponomarenko, especially because Scott Moyer's their coach and they're in Canada.
Yeah. And Brady and Somerville always seem to find a way to make a podium every once in a while, so you never know.
Yeah.
Never count them out. To Japan, where you will have Alicia Fabry, Paul Ayer. Did they get 2?
No, but they would be one of the teams up for the TBD between them and the former French Canadian team, Marie Jade and Romain. Yeah.
The Tashlers, are they doing a keg stand this year?
I hope so.
They need to.
Right in front of the judges.
We'll bring the props out and all this time. No more faking it.
Orihara and Perinen, who got 2 Grand Prix, shout out. Lila Fear, Lewis Gibson, Charlene Guignard, Marco Fabry, Azusa Tanaka and Shingo Nishiyama, Utana Yoshida and Masaya Morita, both from Japan. Caroline Green, Michael Parsons, Shibutani debut, Maya and Alex, and Katarina Wolfkofsson and Dmitry Cezareki. I don't know.
Okay, just noticing this. Lila and Lewis and the Italians are against each other at both Grand Prix.
And they're also both against the 2 new teams that are coming in that are like that is I was about to say, like, this is a good I think it's a good event.
If I was them.
Yeah. I think it's a good event for Maya and Alex. to
I
start.
think they could
Mhm.
medal.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they will medal.
I think they could.
I don't.
Okay, how high are they like? How high do we realistically think they can get?
They have
I
their
think
own media day at NBC. They will be on the podium to me at this event.
Oh no, I know
I
that, but
Yeah.
I think
can
second.
they get higher than bronze?
My bet is second here.
But
And
who are they beating?
who's winning?
I'm gonna
Are they
say
bumping Lila?
I think they're bumping Lila. I think it'll go. Yeah, I think it would go Italians them Lila.
Hey, the Olympics are in Italy.
I know.
They
That's
are.
like
I always
That's why I'm
forget
so.
that.
I know that's why I'm so like I
that's
feel like I'm a broken record
yeah.
saying Italians, but like I don't know.
They better have good material. I keep forgetting the Olympics are in Italy.
Uh-huh.
That's
I
gonna be such a
know.
push for all those skaters. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's gonna be the podium in some manner. I don't really
Hmm.
think anyone, I'm gonna be honest, I know people think Caroline and Michael like have a shot. I don't think they have a shot.
No,
I
no.
think that Maya and Alex are so gonna be pushed
Yeah.
so incredibly hard.
Hmm.
Politically, like
They
internally,
already
like
are. They
Mm.
already are.
they have
Yeah.
they're already doing NBC media
Yeah.
photos. Like they wouldn't be doing the USFS wouldn't be approving of all this, honestly, if they weren't ready to go.
No, because they would have already been seeing their training videos. They wouldn't be doing this
Mhm.
and putting so much time, effort, and money behind this team if it wasn't worth their investment.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
speaking of America,
Yeah.
moving on there.
Lala back in New York, baby. I don't know if they've ever been to New York because
I think
like
Marge,
competing.
I think
They've been there. They've been there, but not like I don't know about competing, but the Morozics again. My team, Theo and Lochia. Hold on. I needed to do something. All right. Um, a second French team. I don't know who these are, who these two
maybe a
are.
junior team. I don't know who they are either.
I don't know, but
Mhm.
good luck. Loberiva Brousseau, Phoebe and James getting their first
I
Grand Prix.
I love them. I'm so happy for them. I love them.
Yeah. I think they've had a Grand Prix before. Like I think they probably got it back in the day
No, I
when,
don't know if they
or they
did
were junior. They were
because she made a
junior.
I noticed she made a post saying like making our Grand Prix debut. And
Yeah,
they train in the States too. So
yeah,
it'll
in
be nice for them.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They were junior that year when Britain had
Hmm.
the Grand Prix. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Naomi and Noah, this is the junior world champions from Italy.
Mm.
They're kind of the one I think they'll be in the contention for like one of the second spots for Italy. Madison Chalk, Evan Bates, Christina and Anthony, and TBD.
So Christina and
Okay.
Anthony up against LaJoie and Lagat again.
Yeah.
So
So
I
Yeah.
this
think
is I think it could flip here. I
yeah.
think that this is
Mhm.
where they could have Christina and Anthony second, Lala third. But then
Mhm.
you also have um Evgenia and
Yeah.
Jeffrey in there as well. But again,
Mhm.
they were dropped so hard at Worlds, which is like
They
literally
were
so heartbreaking.
Mhm.
Um, but I do think that top three will be those three teams again, barring like was it
Disaster.
Maddie Chalk could fall on her ass again and like they'll still win. So
Right.
like it's fine. It's fine.
TBD for them. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't even waste giving it. I don't know if I would even give it to a team that's already on the Grand Prix. I honestly
Really.
think they should just give it to like a team like they could give it to an up and coming team that's like skating well in like domestic circuits.
Mhm.
Like you could make the argument for
Peyton
Nesset and
Dye. Well,
Markelev. No, I wouldn't
they
give
have
it to
one.
Peyton Vi. I would say you could either you could give the argument to give it to Nesset and Markelev or Wolf Kofston and Dimitri. Those are the two I think that could maybe
Okay.
get the argument, or maybe just someone internally that they'd like to give to a Grand Prix event too. But I honestly think like some of these teams like don't warrant a Grand Prix spot because their development is a little bit lackluster. Like Peyton by. Yeah. Okay. To Finland. where we have Piper. Okay, oh yeah, this is the event.
This is the
event.
event. This is when we will be taking that flight to Finland.
Yeah, using our frequent flyer miles.
Yeah.
Let me just read this lineup. Piper and Paul, the Tashlers, Olivia and Tim, Dirk Lakina, Orihara and Piernan, Laurence, Fonny and Baudry and Guillaume, the Browns, Diana and Gleb, the Shibutanis, and Zingas and Kolesnik.
Welcome to the Hunger Games.
It's oh my gosh.
It's the 75th Hunger Games.
76th.
76th Hunger Games.
What the hell? To quote Alyssa Liu.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I'm so excited though. Like,
it'll be good.
I don't know what to say. It's gonna be like scary good.
Who's winning?
I think it's between Piper and Paul and the French.
Of course.
And then I think that third, you would Shibutanis and Olivia.
Yeah, you could throw in Dirk Lakina because it's in
Finland.
Just think about who's last.
Diane.
That's another question.
The other Finnish team.
Browns.
But they're good too.
They are good too.
But it's
Browns,
not gonna be
maybe?
or the Czechs.
No, the Czechs are good
Or
too.
they're good,
No, like-
but it's like it's definitely not gonna be. It's not gonna be.
I actually have no idea.
Spain.
Actually,
That's the bigger question for me is who's last.
no, because they're all like middle of the pack teams too. Like they're all good teams.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My God, this warm up is going to be crazy. Like, do you remember that one? Was it a junior Grand Prix? Or no, it was a senior Grand Prix where like during
In
the warm up,
Finland.
they had and they had like the ref had to call all the teams aside
It was
and
either
be
in
like,
Finland or France. I don't remember.
yeah, and
Nadia
was there, and they basically the ref was like, guys, you need to calm the F down because somebody's gonna get hurt. That's what's gonna happen here.
Because everyone's just gonna be like the adrenaline flowing.
Hunger
like,
Games. It's the
yeah.
Hunger Games.
Wow.
Can Alex and Maya find a way up? You never know.
I think so.
They're on the podium. Do you think
We've seen no scores from them, and we're like,
This
can
is
they
true.
medal?
Yeah.
I don't
We also
know.
haven't seen no scores from like the French too.
Yeah,
And we've seen more skating from them than we have from my
we haven't
Alex in the
seen Alex and
past.
Maya.
I don't know.
They need to send us post a clip. Come on.
Yep.
Okay.
final predictions?
Mm-hmm.
We can't even do like
I
individual
can't one
events.
event.
Like,
I'm fine with giving mine.
Okay,
And
go
y'all
ahead,
don't have to
Nolan.
give yours.
I love
All right.
I love how we like add on to Nolan's at the end.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, but this. Oh, but this.
Chalk and Bates, Piper and Paul, Guillaume and Laurence, Marco and Charlene. Oh, why did I write this? I wrote Carrera and Ponomarenko down.
oh,
That's crazy. Anyways, Lila or the Shibs.
I think that's 6.
That's 6.
And then I think that your 7 and 8 would be Lala.
Olivia.
Oh, Lala, Olivia, and Carrera and Ponomarenko.
Yeah. Somehow I have Carrera and Ponomarenko making it. I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote this down.
Well, because like the Shibutanis, I think, are we thinking they're 2 bronze medal placements?
If they're 2 bronze, they won't make it.
Yeah,
don't
because
think
like
so either.
because Lejeune and Laga would likely get a silver and a bronze, and same with Carrera and Ponomarenko. If we're looking at it, would also likely be a silver and a bronze.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or yeah,
I just went with the vibes. I didn't think about what anyone was gonna medal. I just went with the vibes.
the vibes feel so evil this year in like the
Yeah.
best way.
That's how dance is anyways. It's
It
the
is. No,
vibes.
yeah, it's
It
not.
is the vibe.
If you want a fair and ethical sport,
Go to singles.
Well,
I just say just don't go to
don't go
skating.
to
Just like leave
skating.
skating
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah, the Grand Prix circuit will be super exciting. One more thing we need to talk about. Jersey has spoken, and Jersey has retired. She didn't officially announce it, but Jersey
yeah.
did retire. And she's off of all the international selection
Yeah.
pools and USA teams. But Lindsay, we love you, girly.
We love you.
You
love
were
you,
robbed.
Lindsay.
You were underappreciated.
Your spins were incredible.
Mhm.
Your jumps
I-
might have been a little cheated, but we loved every minute of them.
Mhm.
You and Sandra Bezic, I
Oh,
just hope
yeah.
that you like create beautiful windmills in your mind for the rest of your life. And I hope that I'm actually sad that like her last competition ended the way it did.
I
think
did.
that was,
I
like,
really. It really.
I just
bothers
wanted to be like
me.
get off the ice and give you a big hug and like, oh my God. But I hope she, maybe like goes to school.
She's in school.
That's so
so-
good. And like there is life outside the sport. There's life and there's people
Mhm.
outside the sport, and your life will continue and it'll be amazing. So
Yeah.
oh,
Love her so
heartbreaking.
much.
Love her so much.
But yeah, do you guys have any final thoughts on the Grand Prix announcements that we've seen or
It's gonna be a good season. It's
I'm
gonna be a hell of
so
a season.
excited.
It's gonna be really good.
I can't wait to see like the predictions we've made now and then how it's
Mhm.
actually going
compare
to
'em.
play out like 6 months from now.
we'll watch this video back and we'll be like, wow, we were such
No, I was
idiots.
wrong.
We were, yeah. Oh my, because you never know, like,
And
so
who will
much
withdraw?
who will
Right.
withdraw,
Yeah.
like,
Who
and
who gets added in?
who withdraws so Gia can get her second spot.
Mhm.
Exactly. Well, wait. Do you say you
Important.
know why? Wait. Why did you say you know
Yeah,
why?
Well,
let's talk about that.
she was 25th on season's best and world standings. So she'll be second.
Oh.
She's second on the replacement list, 0.3 behind Samodokina. So she'll probably go to Cranberry and get like a higher
Mhm.
score and like just jump up from there. But
I hope so.
and Yuna Aoki, I think, is actually first, but she'll get the TBT most likely.
Mhm.
So that's how it goes. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on the Grand Prix? Leave us them below in the comments. We'll have a couple episodes coming out soon. We're going to be doing a rescoring event soon of the worlds this past year. So yeah, let us know what you want to see, and we'll see you guys actually very soon.
Yeah.
So bye,
All right.
guys.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.